We have a very large team of PhDs that have spent many years building this infrastructure that allows us to not just train it against a weather station, for instance, but take, for example, our wind generation forecast model. It's effectively a very similar premise. We're tracking how much wind power is being produced for individual turbines around the world. And we're watching when we predict X, it actually means that you're generating Y. And that same infrastructure that I mentioned earlier allows us to be so nimble. You can think about it as we've created an ecosystem that allows us to train weather data against anything from a machine learning standpoint. And so that is not easy to build. That took a long time, a lot of scar tissue, a lot of iteration, a lot of repeats, a lot of failures, a lot of successes. But here we are and we have it. But it's useless without the inputs. The weather forecast is useless without observations. Because elsewise, you're just spinning something up on an empty tank. And so that's where a lot of our investment has gone as well, as I mentioned it earlier, but creating, in the advent that it's absent, the largest mosaic of weather observations in the world that we possibly can. Now, I don't have any statistics that say that we have the largest network. We have a lot of people in-house that believe that we do, and they come from different industries of academia or are experienced in this profession, but it's nothing that we can really go out and say. But you take our satellites, you take the partnerships, you take our customers, and you put it all into one big box to train against. That's the real challenge, is having access to the data sets and their history to be able to make it so that you don't have to wait a few years in order to get results. You already have a logged archive of observations that you can train against, so you can get this thing going right away. And so when we ask how hard is it, it's a great question because it's very hard. But now that we're in a place where we have that infrastructure, that baseline, that work that we've done, it's no longer hard for us because now we can deploy it for any customer that we want because we're used to doing it and we have the technology stack that is extremely unique to Tomorrow.io to make this happen anywhere. And in a world where the model resolution isn't at the fidelity that we want it to be, we can deploy our own numerical weather prediction models anywhere around the globe to be able to create a higher resolution model that we're calibrating against.